In this lesson, we will examine the two major movements in the arts that developed during the period from roughly the late 1700s to the early 1900s, Romanticism and Realism. The first key idea we shall discuss is the movement of Romanticism, which rejected the Enlightenment emphasis on reason in favor of strong emotions. Romanticism profoundly affected art, literature, and music. Next, we will look at the movement called Realism, which tried to describe the world accurately and scientifically. A major goal of realism was to encourage social and economic reform. Romanticism refers to an artistic style emphasizing imagination, freedom, and emotion that dominated European culture in the period from roughly 1750 to about 1850. Romanticism was a reaction against the neoclassical writers and artists of the Enlightenment, who had turned to classical Greek and Roman art and literature for inspiration, and stressed the ideals of order, harmony, reason, and emotional restraint. By the early 1800s, Romanticism also began to express dissatisfaction with industrialization and the dominance of scientific thinking in European culture. The writings of French philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau were a major inspiration for the Romantic movement. In his literary and philosophical work, Rousseau emphasized emotion over intellect and reason. He also stressed the fundamental goodness of humankind. Although the Romantic movement encompassed a wide variety of styles and influenced all forms of art, certain general characteristics emerged that define the movement. First and foremost, Romanticism was obsessed with strong emotions such as love, jealousy, and anger. These emotions, rather than the reason of the Enlightenment, were seen as the driving force of human action. Romanticism placed a strong emphasis on the importance of the individual and encouraged individuals to create their own identity, even if this meant going against the conventions of society. As Romanticism became wrapped up in the great revolutionary movements of the period, it began to celebrate the idea of the hero. The romantic hero was a melancholy figure who is often misunderstood by others, but fights for and sacrifices himself in a greater noble cause. Whereas the Enlightenment focused on the future, Romantics celebrated the past, especially the Middle Ages, as a more noble time. Romantics were fascinated by the bizarre, exotic, and supernatural. They valued anything that could not be explained by reason and logic. This meant that Romantics also embraced religion. They especially appreciated Catholicism because of its emphasis on ritual and mysticism. Finally, Romanticism centered on a deep appreciation and love for nature, which they saw as a thing of mystery and beauty. One of the most influential early Romantic writers was the German Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. His literary works were extremely popular and helped to establish Romanticism as a movement in the arts in the late 1700s. Goethe's 1774 work, The Sorrows of Young Werther, became the model for future Romantic writers. In the story, the sensitive young hero Werther is tormented by his desire for freedom and love. Misunderstood and rejected by those around him, he falls passionately in love with a girl who does not share his feelings. Driven to madness by love, Werther ultimately commits suicide. Goethe's work began the Romantic preoccupation with love and suffering. Individualism and rebellion against tradition were important features of Romanticism. As a result, many Romantic works focused on the theme of conflict between an individual and society. Romantics believed that each person desired self-actualization, the realization of their full potential as human beings. Often this could lead to disaster and served as the theme of many Romantic works of literature. Goethe again provided the model in his story Faust, which was published in two parts in 1808 and later in 1832. The aging scholar Faust, frustrated by a futile life spent searching for truth through reason, makes a pact with the devil in which he exchanges his soul for knowledge. After much agony, however, Faust wins salvation by accepting his duty to help others. The desire of Romantics to follow their own inner individualistic drives led many to rebel against middle-class conventions by sporting long hair, beards, and outrageous clothes. Romanticism led to the creation of a new type of hero. Unlike the heroes in the classical epics, such as Homer's Iliad, the romantic hero was a solitary, melancholy figure who did not fit in with the conventions of society. Often the romantic hero would sacrifice himself for a great and noble cause, or struggled with some dark secret that he had to overcome. The model of the romantic hero was the British poet Lord Byron. A rebellious youth but brilliant writer, Byron joined the Greek forces battling against the Ottoman Empire in the 1830s. When he died in the struggle, his legend grew. Public interest in his poetry and writings was so great that moody, isolated romantic heroes came to be described as Byronic. Romantics were fascinated with the past, and this led them to study legends, folklore, and history in an effort to understand the origins of national cultures like French, German, and English. They focused especially on the Middle Ages. The Renaissance and Enlightenment had been critical of the Middle Ages, but Romantic writers and artists revived interest in this period. To the people of the 1800s, Gothic architecture and medieval churches conjured up images of a distant and heroic past. During the first half of the 19th century, the brothers Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm collected stories and legends that celebrated the rich cultural tradition of Germany. They also created a dictionary of German grammar and language. The work of the Grimm brothers played an important role in inspiring German nationalism in the 1800s. The novels of Sir Walter Scott brought medieval Scottish and English history to life. His beautifully written novel Ivanhoe described the clash between Saxon and Norman knights in medieval England and became his most popular work. In France, the writer Alexandre Dumas wrote swashbuckling historical adventures. He is best known for his novels The Three Musketeers and The Count of Monte Cristo. He used richly detailed historical settings, such as the court of Louis XIII and the French Revolution, to bring his stories to life. His characters also often fit the model of the romantic hero. The foremost French romantic writer was Victor Hugo. In his two greatest novels, The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Les Miserables, he combined rich historical settings with compassionate stories about the sufferings of humanity. Many romantics were attracted to the bizarre, unusual, exotic, and supernatural. Consistent with their opposition to the Enlightenment, romantics valued anything that defied rational explanation. They expressed interest in ghost stories and tales describing the unusual customs of foreign cultures. In its most exaggerated form, this preoccupation with the grotesque gave rise to so-called Gothic literature. These stories often took place in medieval castles or manors, and were filled with fearful and supernatural events. Mary Shelley wrote one of the earliest and most successful Gothic horror novels, Frankenstein. In this story, a scientist, desperate to discover the secrets of life, creates a creature made from the body parts of dead human beings. He manages to bring the creature to life, but it turns into a monster after being rejected due to its horrible appearance. In this way, Shelley warned her readers about the dangers of reason and science when detached from morality and humanity. Many romantics felt the scientific revolution and enlightenment had stripped the natural world of its beauty and mystery. As a result, Romanticism emphasized love of nature, and this was often expressed through poetry. William Wordsworth was the foremost British romantic poet of nature. To Wordsworth, nature contained a mysterious force that the poet could perceive and from which he could learn. He blamed industrialization for brutalizing the human spirit and causing a decline in religious faith and traditional values. The British Romantic poets William Blake and Samuel Taylor Coleridge also honored nature as the source of truth and beauty. Romanticism affected painting as well as literature. Romantic artists rejected the rational order and balance of neoclassical art in favor of warmth, emotion, and movement. Romantic artists enjoyed depicting nature in all its power and mystery. German artist Caspar David Friedrich expressed a mystical view of nature in his paintings. He believed the artist should depict nature not as it was seen by the eye, but rather by the imagination. He became famous for scenes such as the famous painting seen here, in which solitary figures gaze out at an impressive natural landscape with an otherworldly quality. In England, Romantic painters Joseph Turner and John Constable created beautiful portrayals of natural events. They produced numerous powerful depictions of the sunrises, meadows, forests, and stormy seascapes that characterize the English landscape. The most famous French Romantic artist was Eugene Delacroix, whose paintings demonstrate a fascination with the unusual and the exotic. Delacroix's rich life enabled him to draw on many sources of inspiration for his artwork. Delacroix's works run the gamut from exotic portrayals of life in North Africa, where he spent some time traveling, to dramatic depictions of life and struggle in revolutionary Europe. His exciting rendition of a lion hunt in Algeria is seen here, and is a good example of how Romantic artists combined color, drama, and heroism in their work. Delacroix's most famous work, called Liberty Leading the People, is seen here. The painting honors the heroes of the 1830 Revolution in France. It shows liberty in the person of a beautiful woman holding the French Revolutionary flag, encouraging a crowd of all classes and ages to follow her. To many Romantics, music was the most important form of art because it enabled the composer to explore the depths of human emotions. As in painting, musicians abandoned the order and formality of classical music and used their compositions to stimulate the emotions of their audiences. Their works celebrated heroism and national pride. As music became more a part of middle-class life, musicians and composers became popular heroes. One of the composers leading the way into the Romantic period was Ludwig van Beethoven. His work evolved from the classical music of the Enlightenment into powerful Romantic compositions. Beethoven created some of the most moving music in history. His Ninth Symphony soars, celebrating freedom, dignity, and the triumph of the human spirit. Like Beethoven, later Romantic composers also appealed to the hearts and souls of their listeners. The term realism was first used in the arts around 1850 to describe a new style of painting and literature that developed in response to the growing importance of science and the Industrial Revolution. Realists rejected Romanticism and its excessive emotion. Instead, realists strove to portray life accurately and scientifically. As they looked more closely at the dirty, grimy world around them, many realists became strong supporters of social and economic reform. They hoped that through their work, they would make middle and upper-class people more aware of the suffering and misery of the poor, especially as industrialization spread through Europe in the 1800s. This would then lead the middle class to vote for and support efforts at reform. Realism in art is best exemplified by the French painter Gustave Courbet. His subjects were factory workers and peasants. In his work The Stonebreakers from 1849, he shows workers engaged in the dreary task of breaking stones to build a road. He portrays these poor laborers with compassion and dignity. Courbet's painting, Burial at Ornans, portrays a group of grief-stricken peasants standing around the grave of a loved one. Again, Courbet portrays the peasants with quiet dignity. This and other stark representations of human suffering were shocking to the middle class. Another Frenchman, Jean-François Millet, focused on scenes from rural life, especially peasants toiling in fields. Millet's peasants were a sharp contrast to the sentimental images found in Romantic art. In his The Gleaners, 3 peasant women tediously gather grain in a field, a centuries-old practice. This ancient tradition was one of the ways poor peasants kept from starving in the winter. Realist authors focused on ordinary characters from everyday life, rather than romantic heroes in unusual settings. Instead of the fiery and passionate language of Romanticism, realist writers used careful observation and accurate description. Unlike the Romantics, who exalted poetry, realists favored the novel as their primary form of expression. Realists often combine their interest in details of everyday life with social issues. The leading French realist, Gustave Flaubert, used his novel Madame Bovary to depict the life of a young woman married to a dull provincial doctor and her unfulfilled desire for happiness. Flaubert's portrayal of Emma Bovary pointed out the tragic conflict between the dreary realities of everyday existence and romantic dreams. The work of another French writer, Émile Zola, also exposed the suffering of the poor and the class tensions that simmered in 19th century society. The Norwegian dramatist Henrik Ibsen brought realism to the stage. His plays attacked the hypocrisy he observed around him. His most famous play, A Doll's House, showed a woman caught by the unfair rules of society. Ibsen's realistic dramas had a wide influence in both Europe and the United States. The most famous and influential realist was the English novelist Charles Dickens. Much of what Dickens wrote about was based on his own experiences of child labor in the factory and the brutality of the slums. His novels focused on the lower and middle classes during the height of Britain's industrial age. One of Dickens' most famous works, Oliver Twist, tells the story of a poor orphan who is mistreated and runs away to London, where he is taken in by a villainous criminal who trains him to be a thief. Dickens' descriptions of the urban poor and the brutalization of human life caused by industrialization were vividly realistic and shocked his middle-class readers. Dickens' work helped inspire social reform in Britain. Now that we have completed this lesson, examine the questions on this slide. After I finish speaking, pause the video and see if you can answer them based on what you have heard. Use this as a way to help you review for the assessments.